I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody?
Welcome back to Introvert Gaming. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna try and convert our familiars and take a chance and see if we can get a familiar with a legendary trait. Previously, what I always do with my familiars is meld my familiars. Melding familiars involves two familiars, any type, and what it would result in is either you would get a familiar with a rare skill or an increased attributes or both. And then of course you can choose which familiar to keep, so you can combine any type of familiar. Now converting, on the other hand, requires three familiars. So we need three familiars to convert, and basically, depending on the type of familiars you're going to use, you would have either a 33% chance of keeping one versus the other. So if you're going to use more of one type of familiar, then you would have 66% chance of keeping that familiar, including its traits. Now, ideally, it's best that you use low level familiars, because when you convert, you would automatically lose one rare skill. So what we're going to do is going to use our lowest brood talon, and then we're going to use another brood talon because I want to keep the brood talon, and then we're gonna use the ash sweeper. Now when you convert, basically this will cost you, I think, 2000 platinum. So if you're gonna look the probability, 80% probability for siphon. These are the possible skills that I would keep. The rest are 40%. Okay? So these are the instructions. Also, there's a chance, 30% chance, that the new familiar will become Aberrant. And an Aberrant familiar is necessary in order for its appearance to actually change, not just the skill. So there's a way that we can change the appearance of our familiar to become a legendary familiar. So this particular process is basically simply trying to create either a familiar with a legendary skill, or or an aberrant familiar. Okay, and of course, this is another possibility. The converted familiar may possess the following utility traits, which is salvager, appraiser, or pack mule. Okay, so let's do this. Proceed. Yes. Ooh, what would it be? Ah! It resulted in an ash sweeper. So see, it's still a basically a chance. So it resulted in an sweeper with one uh, rare skill. So let's see if we can try and convert it one more time. I have a skitter wait and I have a quake rider. Okay, so let's do this one more time and let's take another chance and let's see what will happen. Wait, let's let's check first the probability. So all are 40. Anyway, let's take the chance. Let's see what we're gonna get. Okay, we kept, so we got the skitter. It went down. The attributes actually are not high, but I was able to get two rare skills. Previously, the skater weight does not have any rare skill. The other two had one. Okay, anyway, so that's the chance. Uy, it became an aberrant. Ah, okay, so that's good. That's good. So we now have an aberrant skitter, right? So we now have two aberrant skitter, right? If we have another one, then we can convert, because you cannot use as an aberrant. Because you cannot, if we're gonna convert our aberrant, it you can only use another aberrant familiar. So you cannot use an ordinary familiar. So it needs to be three ordinaries or three aberrant familiars. Anyway, okay. So I think I was wrong with my previous statement with regards to the ash sweeper. The attributes did not basically increase. It simply kept its original attributes. It just added a rare skill. But I think this is a good for me. I think I did a good. I did receive a good outcome because now I have two aberrant familiars. So next is I'm gonna have to collect more familiars and then try to convert them more until I actually get a familiar with a legendary trait or skill. All right. So that's a roll of the dice. Again, we can we cannot meld. I think that's another thing. We cannot meld aberrant familiars. So if you're gonna look, let's just take out. If we're gonna choose our ordinary familiar will have an option of to meld, and if once we select it, we won't see the aberrant familiar. Once we select our aberrant familiar, it does not have an option to meld. So you can only meld ordinary familiars, but for aberrant familiars, you can only convert them. In order for you to either get a legendary skill, legendary skill or legendary trait, you just have to keep on converting. So it's gonna cost more to actually convert than to meld familiars. Okay, so I think that's it for this particular video. I'll make a separate video once I acquire more familiars that I can experiment on until such time that we actually get a familiar that has an attribute of 100 over 170. So right now, the highest familiar that we have is our Brood Talon with one attribute at 166. The rest are a little bit low. But the two other familiars that I have are now both aberrant. Either one, if I let's say I can convert them to a legendary familiar. Either the Skitterite or the Ash Sweeper. I just need to convert more familiars and take a chance until I get a familiar with a legendary skill or legendary trait. Right? So that's it for now. Again, this is Introvert Gaming. Like and follow my Facebook page, Introvert Gaming. Link is in the description below. Of course, for more Diablo Immortal gaming content, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, leave a comment, suggestion, tips, uh, feedback, requests, and that's it for today. Again, this is Introvert Gaming. Thank you for watching. See you on our next video. Bye.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me